and gentlemen, welcome to yet another episode of Cat on Wheels podcast. I'm your host, Kama Kawaida Cat, and today our podcast is being held at the Black Rose. For those of you who don't know Black Rose, we are at the Black Rose Garage, and Black Rose is a limited company that is technology-oriented with a marketing background, and we happen to be here today, and each and every once a week we'll be doing our podcast here. Today I have a guest mwenye ameuliziwa sana na mafans, and so probably today he's here and he's going to answer all your questions. I'm with Kimeu. Kimeu, karibu sana.
Asante sana, lakini hiyo ni uongo. Mimi hakuna mtu ameniulizia.
Okay, umeenda kwa comment section.
Okay.
Unaangalia comment section.
Naangalia.
Yeah, definitely waangaliangi. Yeah. So msali niuliza kwa nini usimamangi kusalimia watu?
That is a hard question. Unajua ukiwa kwa bike.
Because you know why? Ama is it because uliingia off-road? Watu wa off-road na ma-GS ndio wako na hiyo tabia.
Nimekuwa mswa GS. Nilikuwa KTM, sikuwa GS. But sinanga hiyo tabia. Mimi usalimia wase wengi sana. Ukistop anywhere na nikuone, there's no reason for me ni kuignore. Haina haja. So mimi usalimiana. So kama siku kusalimia, I think labda nilikuwa focus sana. And as the people who know me personally, I'm usually a late individual. So probably nilikuwa na haraka. So I was not looking candles. Nilikuwa nakimbia.
He was not riding for content.
Yes, it was not content.
He was commuting.
I was commuting.
You commute with your bike as well, yeah?
That is what I do. That is my full-time thing.
Nice. Karibu sana kwa Cat on Wheels podcast.
Asante sana. Great to be here. Nimeona ulikuwa na legend, so I'm humbled to be here.
It's an honor to have you here, bana. We learn from those legends. Na pia the guys who come, wanakwanga of course na some education. They tell us things, you know. Even you, I know you have stories, and definitely whatever it is you'll be sharing with us, it's very, very important.
Hopefully.
Yep. So I'll dive right into it.
Okay.
Question ya kwanza, you know, on your social media kuna time ulikuwa na complain sana about mafuta. Now I'm just putting you on the spot here.
But let's not mention brands. For those who know, no. For the people who know what my bike takes, they know.
No, it's like
now you see me don't. You know me in my social media, I don't want to mention brands. In case in future to end it to collabo. After what? Kenyans always have receipts. I might be pushing that mafuta on you in 2 months time. Then but Kimeu ndo alikuwa na. But anyway, I don't think it's actually the fuel. It's more of the station.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to ask you. Of course, we know definitely because I fuel the same as you. I think, and I go to the same petrol station that you. In the same brand. Same brand, yeah. But I think it has happened twice or 3 times, So you know, and then I keep asking myself, I don't know any other biker who's had the same issue. Now I'm like, kwani umsay. Definitely the petrol station. That's why I wanted you to tell us, like, which petty is this, so that at least as bikers, to rada.
All I can say is always fuel from one petrol station, or at least 2. So that umezoea. Na pia wanakujua. Ndio pia wakisema, uliniekea mafuta mbaya, they don't say that you're a new customer. They've seen you there.
So and that's why you changed your petrol.
So I changed it.
That's
There's one that came up. It's new. It came up near my hood. Nikaeka mara ya kwanza. You guys saw what happened. 2-3 months down the line, nikaenda nikasema labda ilikuwa tanks hazikuwa wameosha nini. Fueled again, same thing.
You're like that guy who goes to the Toxic X. Unarudi.
You have to give them a chance. You have to give them a chance. Forgive them.
Alafu wanakunyorosha double.
Hey, unajua hapa character development is a must.
You make it like, hey bro.
Exactly. In fact, now they had a protocol. They just come, niwaambia tu kama kawaida, drain, clean. There's now a sequence that they do. Move on.
Healing process.
Hapo kanyambia don't go back again sasa. Now I'll never go back. Hapo naendanga tu kuangalia pressure. PSI hiyo wakinyekea sasa mbaya.
But you did a follow up with them and they did some tests and everything. How did it come out?
The test came back. They said there was nothing wrong with the fuel. But the issue I had was tuseme nikuuzie chakula. Then you say you got food poisoning. Then I tell you, okay, so you got food poisoning. Let me do the test on my food and I'll let you know. So it's all internal. It's up to them. They're the ones who test their own product and they're the ones who say whether it's good or bad.
You
so
can't go to
I can't do anything.
You can't go to a third party.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
So what could I do? I just said sour. I don't have any fuel testing kits. So nikakubali tu.
And what was your max opinion?
It was clearly the fuel. Even we drained it and it looked bad. You could tell. Even the smell.
From the garage.
In the garage. Even all of them were like, it's bad. In fact, they just said, hiyo ni ya kuosha sasa carburetor, kuosha engine parts. That's what they use the fuel for. They won't even reuse it.
But the petrol station wakasema
iko sawa. They were like, there's nothing wrong. Maybe it's me who fueled somewhere that I shouldn't have.
You didn't want to pursue it further, like
you know, at some
we know
point,
how it ends.
You know how it ends. It's called democracy, bureaucracy.
Hapa hivi ukiamua kufuatilia vitu sasa,
you'll waste more of your time and your money, and then we're underdogs in this government
and
thing.
then they'll always find something.
Exactly.
They'll be like, and this bike of yours, by the way.
They'll start telling me, come tear down your bike. Tuone nini. It's not worth it.
From the beginning now.
Yeah, but umeka mafuta ya 2K. Sasa unaanza kufuata. It's not worth it.
Yeah, but it's good at least it's running and
yes.
You've learned the lesson, you've taken the L and then
twice, but the third time hapana. I've taken twice, nimekubali sasa.
Yeah, ukarudi back to the original.
The original.
Where you used to
be. The original that I've always gone to. Yeah.
Kaanza kukacha hapo kaambia niaje, let me give you my story. This is how it used to be.
Yeah, sasa now you give guys stories. I'm like, when you fuel, just fuel one place or two places.
Yeah, but that is so true, because even with me, with my car and bike, it's always been one place.
Yeah, because even them, you can pata, sorry to cut you off, you can pata, ata wow, watapata a bad batch, but because you fuel there every time, watasema, hey, nyewe, this one came, but you can trace where it came from. Si ati ulienda road trip, umeenda nyi watu wa ni twisties, mlenda mkafuel kwa hizi maduka za kerosene.
Kuna moja ya yellow inakwanga huko
in case hizo ni za emergency. I'm not saying they're bad. Kuna time tulienda ni Garissa ama ni wapi. Hizo ndo zilituokolea. Those ma dodgy.
They came through, eh?
They came through.
But clearly they are not legit.
They're not for sure. But now if you have a bike now, like the R6 where it uses 95 octane, it's a performance engine. You'll be able to tell the difference when you put bad fuel.
Well, someone else said that you know, when you're doing that emergency fueling, you don't have to fuel full tank.
Yeah, unaweka tu ya kufikisha
from one point mpaka penye.
Fact, that's good advice.
Hadi kwa brand yenye una trust. It makes it easier like that, eh?
Yeah.
So we have to be safe out there as bikers.
Kabisa.
Fuel maji pia saa zingine. So now you have the R6 and the KTM.
Yes.
You don't ride the KTM too much.
As much, yes. You're behind the scenes. So I had this whole plan for doing adventures, but
what happened? How would you
always unajua okay, tuseme umeenda twisties. Budget yako inakwanga how much? Hauna budget. Hebu sikia za adventure. Unaanza kusikia kupiga hesabu ya hoteli, sijui mafuta ya out of other counties. It adds up.
Tire extra.
Yeah.
And many other nini.
So that's it. I had accounted for it, but I was not ready.
Uko unajua iko that serious?
Yeah.
So as in, you bought it for
also for content, yeah.
Yeah, for like say you wanted to do long rides now.
Exactly. Nilikuwa nataka kupotea niende. Unaonanga Abdi mzee wetu what he does. Yes.
Yeah, it should be
similar, something similar like that. I just wanted for adventure, go disappear, come back after a few days.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice. Sasa budget ikakutoa kwa hesabu.
But actually I wouldn't even say it's budget. Unajua hii Nairobi ukitafuta pesa utapata. I always say that if you look for money and you really want it, you'll get it. Iko
wapi, hebu tuambie.
Unataka ya nini? Kwanza unajua kutafuta ya 200 na kutafuta ya 100k ni tofauti.
Mimi natafuta 6 figures kuendelea. Where do we get this money?
Yes, 1k money.
S1k guys can tell us.
But the main reason I don't ride that bike is, and I know people will hate me for this, watasema, everyone has their opinion, but me nimso comfort. The bike is too tall for me.
The KTM?
You know, it has a higher seating than a 1250, and also because even the 850 is taller than the 1250. It's a higher seating.
Which year is this?
It's a 2017 KTM 1090R.
It doesn't have a lowering link or something?
It's at its lowest and it's still high. Me, with all my, I think I'm 5'10". I tiptoe kabisa, like tippy toes. Not at even at umekunja. It's tippy toeing. Its seat height is 890. I don't know if you know seat height. It's 890 millimeters. So endo angali. I think the GS is at 860. I don't want to give figures in muniende comments muni roast, but ninajua yangu 890. Yeah.
Okay. So cancel trip.
Because I realized for such a bike, ukienda off-road, you don't want to be worrying about dropping the bike or the weight of the bike. So with that bike, hata upate umepark kwa mlima hivi, miss too, that weight will take you down. It's so heavy.
By the way,
it's so heavy.
Off-roads, I hear that a lot.
Yeah.
So how far have you gone with it?
I did a big trip actually. I think I got it on Monday, Friday. Nilikuwa nisha hit the road. I was so excited. Adrenaline. Nilikuwa Garissa. Yeah. Is it Garissa or Marsabit? Na watu watu ni hate. Sijui ni Google.
Like you just decided and you went those sides.
Yeah, in fact, I'd even opened a group even before I got the bike. I told them, so I'm just waiting on some things, but we are going.
Or you joined the group?
I started the group hiyo trip
for off-road.
yeah, off-road no just calling people for a certain trip niwaambie whoever wants to come kujeni kwa hii group tuende. So I think we're about kawaida tukianza we were about 6 but I think we went 4 yeah. We were meant to go to, it's called Reteti Elephant Sanctuary. I don't know if you've heard of it. In off-road kabisa. In fact, we didn't even manage to go there because we miscalculate mafuta. So we didn't have enough to go and come back. Like from the main road, we couldn't leave and come back. So our best shot was just to continue to our fuel station.
So from your experience, what was the budget like? Let me How many
calculate.
days were you planning to?
We went 3 days. We tulienda Nairobi, but we left in the afternoon, I think. Watukuwa na haraka Friday, tukaenda tukalala Isiolo. Then we were meant to go Isiolo to now the Reteti Sanctuary, then back to Nanyuki. Hey, but by the time we got to Reteti, we all looked at our gauges, we're like, eh. So the mistake we made, actually, you guys always plan. Fuel economy is everything. Tulifika Nanyuki, then everyone topped up. Kumbe Isiolo ni mbali. So by the time we got to Isiolo, we packed our bikes and we were ready for adventure the next morning. No one fueled that morning. Kumbe the amount that we drank between Nanyuki and Isiolo was very significant. So hiyo ndio ingetufikisha the Elephant Sanctuary na iturudishe. And we all noted this because no one had ever been there. We all Google Maps. So tukasema, hey, watu wakusema, atufiki because we were on the comms. Guys are just like, hey, not yet. We're not turning left. That's how so my fuel won't get me there. And then the Elephant Sanctuary is kama too easy. There's a time span where they feed them. So ukikosa, there's no point of going. Like they say between 12 and 1 or 12 and 2. That's the only time you'll see the elephants.
So until the next day.
Until the next day sasa. So we were like, hey, do we gamble? Tuende tukose mafuta, tuanze kuomba mafuta. Unajua they given them the remote. So they probably have a reservoir for mafuta, but sasa watatuuzia kweli. So we didn't want to gamble. Tukasema in the spirit of adventure.
Mrudi kama tu adventure.
Because that day I learned. You know me, I'm a very person who's very planned. I need to know things happening. I was humbled that trip. I learned adventure riders, they don't plan anything. They just go.
Yeah, by the way, that's the thing.
Me, I was the only one panicking. Me, I'm like, hey, what's it? So we said we're supposed to. Guys are like, relax. Guys are like, ata situkule chakula. Sit down for lunch. Do nini? I'm like, hey, no. I like.
Was it 20?
I mean, don't niko na shida, so I relax. Yeah.
Unaambia twendeni wetu kule kwanza.
Wanasema chill.
Eza unapata mse mwingine hata anakuambia time for 15 minutes nap.
But then kuna watu wanasema there's no hurry, acha to digest chakula ndo tuanze safari ya kutafuta mafuta.
Man, by the way, and that makes the whole essence of now the
adventure riding.
Like
exactly.
you just go because it's from what I've heard with even Kimeu. These guys even right now before you came, they were planning a trip somewhere, I don't know, and it is very random. The city there. And just like that, they have a plan for the weekend.
Hey.
And that's on a Sunday. They'll be out and
gone.
Like
that's done.
Gone, and then they'll come back. And like recently, they were, I don't know, somewhere in Turkana, they were stuck. And
that's what these people love. You know me, when I start seeing those problems, I'm like, wait, such tutafanya nini? What to adventure? I say, but yes.
That's how we like it.
Yeah.
So like, give us more mad.
Yeah, I'm still not fully in the adventure. I enjoy the company and the going far places you don't know, but that uncertainty, bado.
Hey, it's funny though. But if you come to, especially, how was the transition from like the sport to now off-road?
Sport to off-road is easy because off-road is just comfort. But now moving from off-road back to the R6, like when I moved now after riding it for that long, came back to KTM, it just felt weird. You're feeling kama you're leant over, you're leaning too much over, everything felt weird on the sport bike. It's like you're relearning. And you've just been on the adventure bike for like 2-3 days.
Hey, really?
Yeah, it feels so different.
Hey, there's a big difference, yeah?
Yeah, because I think these guys the adventure bikes are made for riding long distances and fast. So it's easier to adapt to. The sport bike, watu wangapi wanakalianga wanasema, naeka mguu wapi? You know, when you let someone sit there, they're like, hapa nyuma. Then they're like, how? Mgongo yako yumangi. Yeah.
Height issues and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, that makes sense. So you haven't ridden it ever since?
I've ridden it a few times here and there, but now the issue is another thing. Insurance. Insurance. Easy bikes is cheap.
The KTM?
KTM. It's
third party.
Even I wouldn't take that. But so I'd rather not ride the bike, but when I ride it, nikuwe comprehensive. Kuna jua third party haikusaidii. Itasaidia wengine. Yeah, and these bikes are expensive, they're cheap. Because if you lose it, that's money gone. Na miss nayo pesa. I know you said I can look for money, but gone. Maintenance is not the highest cost on a bike. I keep telling people that if you take care of your bike and you do it when it's supposed to be done, maintenance is nothing.
But I'm very sure you know things like that you know the unexpected, like you know the fuel issue. Vitu kama hizo inaweza kucost the mob, like you're just fueling alafu kidogo unapata nini mbaya, and then you have to go to the garage. I'm sure
unexpected things hiyo sasa labda ni cost. Hata by the what we've not told you, nikikama hapa I think nimegonga mawe, but we don't know what happened to my bike, but I think it looks okay.
Yeah, it looks okay so far. Like
so far so good. Muniombe as you're watching this podcast or listening to it.
Ni mashida ulijiletea, unataka tu ubewe.
Sikuwa na speed. Unajuanga mimi si speedingi.
Na R6
it can go slow. I keep telling people that bikes can go fast, but they can also go slow.
Kimeu, you've been to Twisties?
I have. But have I gone full out on Twisties? No.
I don't really see you with other bikers, like, you know, doing the group rides and stuff like that, especially the sport bike. Yeah. Like the Twisties sasa. I watu wengine ni schedule, like programs in a collide mbaya.
I keep saying, actually in the schedule, me, I ride my bike as a commuter. It's a commuter, daily mostly. Commuter. Not mostly, full time. Anyway, I go with my bike. Hata kuna time nilikuwa na gari nikarealize by the way nimeacha ku ride bike, na for me my bike is content. So I got rid of it and nikasema bike is the only way for me now, because my content is more organic, ni natural. Sijaenda ati nimeplan kushoot leo. I just turn on the camera, whatever happens. And when you ride daily, the odds of something interesting happening every day, you increase your chances of finding something, as opposed to kwenda job twice in a week na bike. Yeah, so if you ride 5 days, maybe 2 days out of the 5 something will happen.
And Leonardo ulikutana na Wajakoya kwa boda.
Then ni Wajakoya Imbo. I was told it's just a lookalike.
Kwa serious. Na mbona aliflow nayo?
See, you know brand yake. That's his brand.
I was wondering, like, wait,
a whole
this guy
potential candidate
Wajakoya on a boda. And then I was like, it's not like he's campaigning. It's not like he's running somewhere for, say, a meeting or whatever.
But ni mso akawangwara ama ni wapi? Niambiwa ni mtu tu anajulikana na kwa mtaa.
He's not legit.
Someone commented akasema, "Au mse by the tunamjuanga anakaanga." He looked like Wajakoya, akaenda kanunua madurag, akafanya kila kitu.
Blend in kabisa.
Blend in.
Wewe sasa unajua umekutana na OG pale.
Mimi najua they made nimejua content leo.
But it didn't cross your mind that by the way, wait a minute, this guy is on a boda how?
But you know, ni Wajakoya, ni mse wetu, the fifth. He just looks, he's humble. Yeah, he can be on a bike. He was always a down-to-earth guy, so it was believable.
But your story really.
But if you go look closer, I mean, nikaangalia video sasa now closely at his face. If you compare the faces, he looks slightly different from Wajakoya.
What's the difference?
I think his face now is shorter. There's just it's different. Niyo sasa mwende mjiangalie. Ndio munipatie views.
Rudi hapo kwa comment section mwangalie comparison. You see Wajakoya, and
if you tell me whether he was real or fake,
and how,
yeah, like, spot the differences.
So you saying you got your bike for commuting purposes? Is that how you got into biking and stuff?
Hey, biking, me, I've always loved bikes. That's not how I got into me. Even as a child, I always knew I was going to be a biker.
Really?
Yeah, I loved bikes. I think the story is when there's a time I went to my uncle's place, Kitambo, watu walikuwa na dish, zile kubwa, zile kama za Elon Musk. So there was this cartoon called Biker Mice from Mars. Do you come on Mice? Biker Mice from Mars.
Sounds familiar.
In the 90s. So it was about 3 panyas tu zina ride my bike. Kulikuwa msa sport bike, msa Harley. So ever since, like, I used to even time, nambia my dad, hey, we need to go at this time. I even knew the time the cartoon used to air. Unajua Cartoon Network zile time was scheduled. TV was scheduled. Hakuna ati uta stream. If you missed, you missed. Yeah. So I think that's when the love came for it. Then from then on, when internet came, Google, nini. Even when my bro and my sister always joked, Kimeu anafanya nini, and I watch his bike porn. So hizi ma videos na ma photos, you just go admire. Yeah, he's like, he's just and I watch vitu zake.
Like hakuna isi
keyboard warrior. I was a full keyboard warrior, but now there was nowhere to outlet. It was just consuming.
Oh, yes. Before sasa you
before using my pages and all these things, I was just consuming all that content. Yeah, unaangalia tu bike imerelease, you go look at the specs online. You fantasize about weko kwa hiyo bike.
Unarudi unalala.
Unaenda kufanya assignments. Hata uko job unarudi unafanya assignments.
Unasema let me wake up.
Yeah.
For real. So when did you get like your first bike and everything?
My first bike came again when I had not even turned 18. Like 2 months before I turned 18. I don't know what happened uko job kwa mother. They had excess bikes wakaanza ku-release. Mother akasema, now you see she knew the love I had for bikes. Akasema, my son loves bikes. akanyakua moja. Senke by the way, Senke. The brand Senke si ati boda. Unajua sio itanga maboda Senke.
Inakaa boda.
Ni boda ilikuwa inakaa boda. In fact watu wangu walikuwa naitanga mse wa Kenya Power. Because unajua uko hapo I think I got it
175cc.
08 ama 09. That's when I first got my first bike. Yeah. Senke 125cc.
You're not 18 yet, you're saying.
I'm not. I got it for 2 months. In fact nilikuwa na tu kwa estate nikingoja kupata license. Of course kuna zile masiku unatoroka. Unapeleka unaenda kutishatisha huko nje.
Niko najiona kama zile panya sasa.
In fact mimi ndo niko wasee ati mnaenda kupanda max tutapatana mbele
So you guys are going by road.
Weka mafuta ya 100 You guys are going by road Take care.
Be careful, you know the roads.
Unaweka mafuta ya mafuta ilikuwa 100 bob that time na ina last almost a week. Now
singe story ya sahi. Hiyo hata si ya wiki. 100 bob hiyo ni less than half. So this was a Senke. How many cc was this?
125cc. I think hata kuna photos. I have photos of ukitaka kama how good are you at it na kuongezea kazi uziput up the moment mention I'll send them.
Yeah, zina pop
so
up.
The 125cc. Afu that was before campus. Nimekwambia just after nikaenda campus Juja. Madha akaanza kusema umse hata kuenda nayo. So the same way it came easily, the same way Madha akasema hii bike ilikuanga yangu by the way. Na hii do anaona tu inagadha vumbi hapa na ni pesa yake. So akauza. The same way
wewe ukutaka kwenda nayo.
No. That's too much attention in Juja. Unajua pia if you gather too much attention. Now it's okay. Back then I don't think it was
like worth it.
Unajua watu wa Nairobi sasa you're like una rabbit in their faces na nini. You just call for attention, unnecessary attention.
So you used to stay in Juja or you used to go?
Yeah, I stayed in Juja. Out off campus.
Off campus.
Yeah, but I had a bike. Kisululu. I had a cycling bike uko Juja.
Umekuwa tu msawa 2 wheels.
2 wheels all the way.
I'm sure now you hate cars.
I don't hate cars, but it's not my preference. Hata watu wakiniambia you have a dream car, I don't. Like gari ni gari. Ni functional sasa.
Hautaki Dodge Challenger?
Hapana. Mimi nipatie H2.
Nipatie
H2 na Probox tafanya kila kitu that those cars can do.
It can
I'm not there to do for performance with the car. That's the thing. I don't it then give me, kuna tu the same way you go on your bike and you feel a certain way. Like people who enter cars and they feel that way. Now me I feel nothing nikiingia gari. For me sasa in fact naenda kukaa kwa jam na kasirika.
Your feeling kwa bike.
Iko kwa bike sasa.
Ile unafanya lane splitting unaona mtu atoki mpinya kidogo.
Kwanza hiyo exhaust unapiga wase kelele una get some attention kama umepotea.
Alafu kwanza now you have that kakuku.
It's
an identity lazima. Numse.
Kumbe ni ule msa wa kuku. Demu siko hivyo wasi. Msiniite ule msa wa kuku. Msiniite ule msa wa kuku. Feel Kimeu.
Kimsekia kuku. Si msa wa kuku ni kimsekia kuku.
So walikuwa wanasema ati Waluya wasinisimamishe ati watajaribu kuikula. Like okay. Si mimi ndo nimesema.
It never ends.
Banter, internet banter.
Hiyo haishangi. Hata kwanza vile umesema hivyo usifanye watu wakungojea pale na frying pan.
KFC.
Pita hizo sides za Kakamega and
but it's something funny to have on the helmet. Kama wewe ni mswa kuchekesha watu ama kufurahia two things because in fact people now the exhaust gets their attention, but when they turn they see a chicken helmet that now keeps their they even tell other people look it's something weird that they've never seen.
By the way uoni kama hawataanza kuona you're like a comedian now.
I don't mind that. Mimi upenda jokes. So nothing new. Comedians wako na pesa. If you think I'm funny, Churchill aniite. Is he still doing this thing?
You have ideas.
I have ideas.
Ideas the mob. From scratch.
Original ideas.
Original, authentic. Hakuna, never had before, never seen before.
Yeah.
At what point did you feel like you want to do content now for bikes? Because me, I knew you after umeenda viral.
Exactly. So content.
Like, so is most people walikujua hiyo time.
Most people knew me from YouTube actually. Nilikuwa na post a lot on YouTube kitambo. Then I moved to Instagram. Though it blow up. The YouTube didn't blow up. It blew up. Bikers knew, but not everyone. Like it was now very specific bikers ndo wanafuata content ya bike.
Oh, cause enthusiasts now to come out.
Nikaanza kuona now on my IG na mix between my personal post na za bike na sasa zikaanza ku blow up. So I even stopped doing more personal posts than nikatoa tu sasa za bike sasa.
Bike is a bike. Yeah. Which year is this now?
So I got my first GoPro 2015 ama 2016.
Because even, sorry, let me get you short. Before we talk about you, the content, Sasa, the R6, when did you get it?
Okay, like I was saying, hiyo bike yangu the same way ilikuja the Senke, ndio nikupatie tu history ya bike. I've only had by the 4 bikes now. The same way I got it easily, mother akasema pia akauza tu. Na nikasema by the I have no, ilikuwa yake. It was hers. Ikaenda.
Teams ilikuwa inaonyesha jina yake.
Yeah, after campus nilimaliza tu hivi graduation hivi, nikapata job. I told my folks that I start graduation party. Nipatie ni soft loan ya bike. Hiyo tu ndio nataka. And I'll pay you back na interest. Sasa tulicalculate hizo vitu zote. So mimi sikuwa na bash ya graduation or anything. Ukasema sawa uko serious? Nini? Nikasema sawa. Kwa nipatia tu do hivi I went for my Gixxer 600. I had a Gixxer 600. That was my second bike. That was my first sport bike, yeah. Gixxer 600 your bike. It taught me a lot. I keep telling people if you want to start sport bikes, anza na Gixxer. It's R6 takuwa as a beginner because it gives you no power then all the power. So unajua hiyo power all of a sudden.
Siku moja
the Gixxer iko gradual, iko very gradual na even cornering it's not as track oriented as an R6.
Are you specific with the Gixxer 600 or just a
600?
It's a good beginner.
It's a very good beginner bike.
So it's very
this is all my experience.
Actually, I've had a few bikers mentioning the same thing, that it's nimble.
Beginner sport bike. Msema hapo ati unataka kwa the first bike. Unajua sema it's their first bike wanataka Gixxer Kimeu alituambia. I said beginner sport bike.
From the Piningin.
So it's a beginner sport bike. If you want to get into sport bikes, that's a very good bike. Of course, if you're starting riding, usianze na hiyo, anza 400s ama something slightly small. You can. And that's a great. Hii maneno ya what bike should I start on? I don't hata saki kuingia hiyo story.
Are you sure you want to go there?
I'm like hapo na
ningekuuliza why.
Exactly. There's always why. Because kuna mtu alianza na R1 ama ni R1 mama sijui ni nini. People can start on
and that's the only bike
and that's the only bike. You can start with any bike, but sasa kuna watu pia wameanza na hizo na ama 150cc na wakaishwa wakamalizwa.
But the difference you see, they say hao wanaanza na hizi ma R1 hivyo, they don't use it to its limit like wakianza unaget, so hiyo woga ya kugun and everything, but msema anatoka 400 aingie 600 ana feeling yako ka difference kabisa.
And I keep saying in biking, fear is something very important, because with fear you respect the bike. Unajua mtu wa fear the bike na hata I respect, atakuwa tu anaenda ako Valley Road anajaribu gonga 200 kph, unajua, because you know guys they don't have that fear. Wako confident, and when you're confident that's when you make mistakes. Unajua fear unaangalia everything, you look at nini, but when you're confident unafinya.
Your awareness,
you don't have the awareness, your adrenaline is just pushing.
Now it's a good experience by the way. Kukua very careful with your riding and everything. But then it makes sense. That's a very good word to use, like you kwa confidence sana inafanya unakuwa na.
Not that confidence is bad, you should also be confident to ride. Just when you're not confident, choose exactly. Now after time, like you learn when to do it and when not to do it.
True.
That experience. Ina hiyo ni experience sasa. You learn it.
I fully support you on that. So I had the Gixxer?
Gixxer nikakana. I think I had it till Corona. From 2016 till Corona ilikuja 2020
ile mzuri.
Ile mzuri ilishika. Because I remember so 2020 I had the Gixxer. You of course nimefanya. I think that's my serious accidents zote nimefanya na Gixxer. I only had one. Hata iko online.
Pia umekaokota?
Hiyo nilikaokota. Nilienda nikarushwa. Unajua when you're beginner unajiona exactly I was confident. Nilijiona Rossi. Pia mwijui na barabara inaitwaje Muhuri hapo 87 Kino. Inashikana 87 na bypass ya Ngong Road.
Huko ndio ulichagua.
There's a nice twisty road, but now it's been messed by quarries. There's dust all over. But before hizi ma roads were made, that was a very good road for twisties. So we had done many. It was just me and the guy who had this bike before me. Tumeenda my laps, and always, every time, I think it's a biker cars. Ukisema, okay, last run, then we go home. So it's always on the last run.
Your last ndio nakuanga na
last kidogo, I think at some point kuna mtu alitoka property yake akaweka vumbi ama dust kwa corner. Afu pia me the corner, because I don't want to victim blame. Pia me nilikuwa na makosa. I came in hot. I thought the corner was a sweeping corner. Kumbe it was sweeping, then it became sharp. So when it was sweeping, I was like, then when I tried to now go sharp, ikapata yo
the wobbling.
Ika slide out, ikaenda ku high side, ikashika traction, ikanirusha.
Definitely,
Me, I was holding on to the bike. You're beginner, you don't know all these things you were told. Oh, when you fall, do this. Your time you have no time
how
to
to
do.
fall.
You don't have that
You need
much.
to know how
Step
to
1,
fall.
step 2, step 3. So you have to make the muscle memory. At that time I didn't know how to fall. So mistake 1, I didn't let go of the bike. So nilikuwa nimeshikilia bike hivi inaimendusha high side. Unajonga high side vile inakuanga na force. Arm popped out
like
of
you're
the
dancing.
socket. Ika pop out of the socket. Then the same arm is the one I fell on. Nika roll. So ika crack. There's a bone here. Ili chip inside. Ili unajonga hiyo ball. Ninga kwa socket. Just that's there. Ika chip. Nika roll. Stopped. There was a wall here. I stopped like. Hey, then someone comes. Hey, nimefanyika tumeona vumbi. Then the guy was like, hey, how you feel? Are you okay? Are you okay? I'm like, hey, I'm fine. Then I'm like, hey. Ebu, najaribu kutoa glove hii mkono isongi because it's out of the socket. I'm like, aye. What's happening? Luckily, I was riding with a doctor.
The
other bike was a doctor. So I pop back in the socket. Another mistake I made, nikasema, niko sawa. I did this again. Nika slide out again. So you had to pop it twice. The second time was very painful. Hapo sasa because now adrenaline imewear out. Ikanini. It was painful. Hata nilalishwa kwa pickup ndo watu wakanishikilia chini ndo. Yeah.
Don't move this time.
Yeah. Then there's the funniest part of this story is pale nilio wall nilikuwa naenda kuroll hivi. Why I stopped? Behind there were people digging a grave. Hey, sema omen. Nikasema we. But luckily enough Omse, in fact I even know he's called George like my brother. Omse ndo alikam akasema by the way digging nini alikuwa na piko alisema tupandishe bike akanipeleka hosi. He did everything to take a bike home, then he asked for nothing.
Wait. How far was the grave from the accident?
The grave? No, see, it's a wall. Now on the other side of the wall, they wanachimba grave. Me nimelala kwa hii wall hivi. You look at the video, mtaiona. You'll even see a guy, because it's a bit raised hiyo barabara. The properties are lower than the road. So, unaona msa akipanda hivi juu from the side of the wall. Yendo alikuwa anachimba hiyo grave on that side.
I'm having weird thoughts here, like ungeruka side nyingine.
Exactly, ningeenda tu nilale hapo
alafu msana anasema sijamaliza na unakuja wewe.
Sisi yako. It is not yours. Yeah.
Umekuja mapema.
Yeah. It was a very funny story.
It was a crazy experience, man.
Yeah. Luckily, the bike, cosmetic, kila kitu. In fact, bike ilipona before me. In like a month, all the parts were in. Bike was ready. Me bado ndo nangangana na my shoulder. But the moment I could do this, hata sikuwa naweza kufanya hivi. But as long as ningefika kwa clutch, I got on the bike. Because kurudi kwa matatu when you have a bad shoulder. Unajua kila mtu ushinda kukugonga. Like sasa unaanza kupanga pale utaka. Unajua I had this thing, it's called a sling. So unajua sling. But unajua swath sasa ile inaendanga now across your body. The shoulder isisonge. So it's this and this. I look like I was about to die. Like watu wakikuona. So everywhere you walk, it's attention. Unajua ile attention utaki unakwenda uishe. Unajua umse alikuwa mbona ako kwa matatu. Like so me being a man,
they don't know.
Ile unajua ndume, I'm like I won't walk with it. So people are bumping into me now. Shoulder yangu imevunjika. So me I'm feeling pain but
na ukisema unapigana na hii mkono nyingine pia hiyo inaweza kwa. You just have to be humble.
You have to be humble. So the moment I could get on the bike and ride,
Nivo.
Hey,
crazy man. That's
the Jigsaw. I think Jigsaw is one that I learned everything on. Unajua hizo even in traffic this slow incidents where you una fishtail bike inaanguka ama when you step on gravel. Unajua those small things that you learn on the road when you're commuting. I learned all of them on the Jigsaw. So Jigsaw ndo ilikuwa I think insurance hata walikuwa wananijua. Something small happens. Luckily none of my I'll call them that's an accident. The first one is an accident. The rest have been incidents. Just tudogo. Uko kwa jam sa gari anakama na kubump kwa aka crack the tail light na kila sasa buda. The thing with bike people and cars they always the people who have interacted with are always I don't know kiburi. They're like siungesonga and I'm like but traffic iko red but then like biker shouldn't stop for the lights. They always stop for lights. They're like mbona umesimama kwa traffic lights and
aya hebu kwanza on that note hebu ambia watu hapo tell them because
follow rules.
Bana you stop kwa light. Most people don't, they just feel like actually kuna watu kuna hiyo notion and they ride sports bikes.
Me I keep saying intersections, junctions, lights. In fact that's where most of border accidents happen because they just enter the road.
You see how they enter?
Exactly.
Hey.
wewe kuwa cautious of course Sundays I mean in fact let me not say sometimes never go into the road when it's red
not
light.
advisable. I don't know if it's in one of your content ama ni nani niliona. There's a guy who was doing a survey literally aenda akiuliza watu wa boda mbona umeweka helmet hapo. They don't wear the helmet.
And I was not, but yeah I've seen that
they don't give a valid reason.
You know boda people see all the negatives of the helmet. Of course it has negatives. Tunasikianga joto, you feel like you're in jam. But the cost of that, the price you pay is sound of mind. I keep telling people, look your bike, the least you can do for your family in case upate, and I'm touch wood, upate accident, upate open casket. If your head is gone, they don't even have that closure. Hakuna kuview. Umeenda. And most boda people ni hivyo. You guys can't even look at the accident scene cause hawako na gear, hawako na helmet. And most deaths happen because your head injury. So to avoid that, tulia tuva helmet. Unaweza fungua visor. That's what I'm like. Fungua visor but ukue na helmet. Pumua.
But the funny thing is that you have the helmet na uvai. Unajua ingekuwa ni story ingine if you don't have the helmet but now you have it. Kwanza zile nasikia mmepatiwa na CSR somewhere.
Hadi kwambia kwanza hata funny story ile bike yangu Senke. Mimi nilikuwa na hizi bike. By then there were not yellow helmets but hizo tu zilikuwa za kuja za China. So nimeweka kwa shoe rack juu. Some just similar height. Then someone bumps the shoe rack ikaenda ikaanguka ikapasuka. So I was like, this is what I've been saying, I have a helmet.
That's how you learned.
That's how I learned. These helmets are not helmets.
Now you impact at a
serious. It was not a serious impact. Ikaanguka ika crack, like a full crack on the top of the helmet. That day nikaenda nikatafuta now a proper helmet.
Where do you get your helmet now at this point?
Back then, it was vile ulikuwa unaambiwa na ilikuwa modho. You just know people who know people. So the person who was selling the bikes to my mom's office alikuwa biker. So alikuwa na zile mzee second hand zake. Akanipatia, akaniuzia installments. Helmet, jacket. I actually got proper gear then.
Zote na installments?
Na installment. The only thing they first was gloves, jacket na helmet. Back then akukua hizi shin pads, akukua boots. They were not there. Yeah.
Yo nasikia ulikuwa unavaa tu.
In fact, people watu walikuwa navaa Crocs wanaenda. Hata helmet ilikuwa just because watakuka cool.
Jimbaka alikuwa anasema yeye hata alikuwa ameka exhaust ya Subaru kwa za kupata hizi.
Kustand.
Alikuwa anafikisia Grogon.
Back then things were not as accessible as they are now.
Hey, right now it's easy, yeah.
And now I keep saying multiple. Like I was saying that chicken it was an American company that reached out to me ndo wanitumia. I was like, oh really? Like content imefika America because of way.
But that's super nice.
Yeah, I was like, nice. Too many.
And what's the secret, man? Ebu tell us kwanza before tuendelee hiyo journey yako.
Is there a secret? The one secret advice, not secret advice I can tell you is keep it natural. Be yourself. Don't useme vile ka Hussein. Usiende nasema leo naenda tafuta content kwa barabara, unaanza kusumbua wase kwa barabara. No, you get that just do
in short like you don't
go
out
like you see yours is planned. Yako ni interview. You can't freestyle sana. Me yangu it's just actually tell people I record full time. Every time on the bike I record.
So you just put a
the number of files I've deleted that I'm with Joe. I can't even tell you. Millions of minutes that I've never used. Exactly.
Okay.
Just to get like a 10-second kitu chachekesha watu.
So you remember a script kwa content kama hiyo.
And then you see when you start doing scripted things, you lose people can tell. When the people are there, they relate to their personality. So ukianza kuona usi Kimeu, you lose them and then wasema squeezy amechange nini memchange amepata followers amechange
after Hollywood vibes hapa hivi na script.
Exactly.
But that makes a lot of sense. So and yours you've been natural all along.
Natural and then don't feel pressure. Like now people ask me naonanga ndio manake wana inaitwa highway attack naambia basi me I'm not here to give you highway attack content. Like you've seen akina ndio manake ndo wanaifanya vizuri. Go to their page for that. My content is not your highway attack. So when you start changing to adapt to what the people want, of course you can adapt to some things, but still stay true to yourself. Because I think people like the community and the interactions that they have with
but
people.
Inachangamshanga say vizuri sana. It's a good thing, especially when guys say hi.
Exactly.
Interact hapa na pale mara one time. And I think it's the same route
and it's always this. Hata say the cops know me uko they say the route I use and wananijua, so hata naweza kosa kulipa insurance na hata na wasalimia na hata share anything, but I keep saying, in fact, for bikes, everyone I keep telling them, insurance unachukwanga. I'm like, insurance is not for the police. Ni yako.
whether you take it or not.
Whether you take it or not. Unajua price ya ferry is how much? Will you pay for it? The insurance is how much? Insurance is how much maximum?
It's like 20 Gs.
20, yeah. I think this year value will go about 19.
19 Gs.
Yeah, 19. Now 19K, uende uanguke, ama hata uvunje radiator ama something small, out of pocket. Because now your insurance is there to cover you, not to use your money. It's there to protect you. And on a bike, the likeliness of something bad happening is much higher than in a car. Unajua gari unaweza survive na third party.
By the way,
on a bike, even third party I don't advise.
Easy bikes, by the way,
especially the big bikes.
If you come to think about
and if you want your bike to be clean, unajua pia kuna watu wanafanya, they believe they can do shortcuts on their bikes, they just plug and play. Wanaenda wanatafuta kata kona break in aka hivi, hata si plug and play, but they go make it zinaingiana anafunga. Exhaust vile umesema Daniel alitoka exhaust ya Subaru akafunga
kwa kuwa na AC projects.
Exactly.
Hazikuwa ndio zinafika vizuri.
Yeah.
But au makarau nani anapeanga mwingine chai?
In fact, I do nothing, by the way. Niko salimia tu kwa kuna hiyo time ya kusimama na kuongelesha ati mko timed na light. Ikilight ikienda.
Because first of all umechelewa.
No, kawaida nimechelewa. I'm always in a hurry.
Kama kawaida umechelewa.
Nimeshachelewa.
Na riding ati for content.
Mimi am a commuter. Nimeshachelewa. Nishaambia mtu tumepatana 9 ndio mimi at 9:05 trying to get there at 8:50.
Is it because unaonanga uko na low flying aircraft?
I also think kuna that cockiness that comes with the bikers that ni hapa tu. Hata unazambia twende Mombasa ndio uko Nairobi. Ndani hepa jam ndafika mbele yako. Unajua you just it will take me 30 minutes. Delulu. Bikers wako delulu mbaya.
Hujaipata situation yenye hiyo siku na tuseme normally you say I leave at 8:50 and I'll be there in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then kawaida you do that and you succeed. And then one day prezo anapita.
But it's always those time. Na hiyo ndio siku ulikuwa na urgent meeting. Na umse client ulikuwa na meet ako hapo na 8:55.
Na hiyo meeting haita happening siku nyingine. Sasa unapata siku ndio.
Hiyo siku ndio prezo amesema hapo na ana take their time.
Na unajua prezo kabla atoke kama anatumia Thika Road atakuwa state house Thika Road ifungwe kwanza.
Kabla atoke ana make sure cops wako kwa barabara wame close, ana come to an open road.
Amaambiwa boss tumemaliza, anasema
imefungwa toka sasa.
Acha nimalize chai.
Hapo anasema give me 2 minutes, give me 5 minutes. Anafunga shule, anafanya nini? Anaongeza tax hapa ndio anatoka.
Because there 6 ina overheat sana, si ndio kwa sasa?
Sana it gets hot. Hotter than the Jigsaw, but I realize pia KTM by the inachemka hiyo 1090. That's another reason I don't ride it. It's bad for commuting. It's too tall. Tiptoeing. You're the level. Unajua you are 6 uko chini ya mirrors. So you can go in between cars nicely. You're the height of mirrors. So ukigonga nini vibaya, you hit someone's mirror, ina destabilize. It's a lot of things and it gets hot. Very hot. I hear KTM. Even nikamwambia umsa wangu wa garage. Coolant nini akaambia by the way ni KTMs you just ride hot. You ride hot.
Si story na coolant. Ulikuwa unataka kubadilisha coolant.
I was like labda ni coolant ni. Unajua new bike new things na
unajaribu. Maybes.
Until you land the bike.
So now what are you planning to do with the KTM?
Hiyo iko soko. I think hata ishaenda. It's going but I don't know what I'll get next. I don't know.
No off-road. You get off-road when you're ready.
I was thinking about that bikes. Yeah, I want nikujaribu because R6 haendi mali. But then kuna time nileka soko ananiambia Kimeu don't sell it.
Chofala.
Nikamwambia acha ufala.
That's how you realize it's not your bike.
Si yangu. Hii bike si yangu. Asanteni sana. It was up to me ingekuwa imeenda kitambo sana.
Mtu mwingine angeonekana nayo angepigwa ambiwe rudisha mwenyewe hii bike.
Then that times nilikuwa nimeka market wasao akasema nini naenda naitoa market the next week na ride na feel by the way mbona nilikuwa nauza hii bike. You just you fall in love with your bike again. You feel attached. Unapiga photo umepark mali kwa petrol station joy may hit in such a certain way it's gleaming.
But mimi naona since aujui kitu tutafanya na hiyo ya KTM tunaweza ikula tu.
Labda pesa si yangu. Labda ni loan inakula interest.
Kuna mtu anaweza kuona imekaa tu hapo hivyo.
Inakaa tu hivi nini. You never know.
So from the Jigsaw is when you got this one or?
Yeah, now from the like I was saying I've been lucky with all my bikes. So the buddy who I used to ride the daktari alikuwa na hii. So during corona I don't know akazapata kujenga hao I don't know he just needed to move bikes. So kaniambia if you still want the bike so acha nikuuzie. That same day
daktari alikuwa
anauza hii. So I think he had already found that even pia alienda that bike. He bought a that bike.
Kwani madaktari wanapenda R6 tu because even mine ilikuwa ni ya daktari.
I think it's just
it's a thing with doctors.
doctors and also the bike unajua ni watu respectable in society unaona watu respectable si
heshima hapa kidogo
heshima si kama watu hata mention brands
unataka kusema nini ZX10
in Nairobi kwanza hizo makawasaki zimejaa siku hizi
ni
mingi sana but that's a good thing
that's a good thing hapa hivi zikipiga kina Edu the chef we know you
but me keep saying the more the bikes I hear the more watu wameland how they work so parts like to fix them it's good for the bike because me R6 hata kitambo when I still had it your time ya corona I don't know it was like radiator or something got spoiled but now you have to import like there's no one who has parts locally but siko import at inishida these days importing things is easy
1 week so and a lot of people are doing it
I was saying alinyambia I'm selling the R6 at X amount. Mimi hata sikuongeza pesa yangu juu. I went and said Jigsaw same amount niweka kwa soko. Same amount. Hata siku top up anything. And I told anyone in a fixed price. Whoever wants to buy the bike unaibuy at a fixed price. Uzuri all my bikes I pride in them being clean. Mi upenda bikes being clean. I like OEM parts. Mi upenda kama ni mods very tasteful mods. Si wetu unaanza kuweka unapiga tires red. Sijui kama kuna mtazama bike na tires red. But
unajua red is not your favorite color now.
But unless ni Ducati. There we are talking. Unajua vile wasema Probox wanekanga ma spade huko nyuma. Those mods. Those are the ones I'm saying now kwa bike. Those that don't make sense. So put the same amount nikapata now a buddy of mine was also getting into bikes. I think alikuwa na I don't know what bike he was moving from so he was upgrading to a bigger bike.
Were you selling your own bike?
No, I was selling my bike. Niambia mse hata usiweke
like I'm asking ulikuwa unajiuzia ama you are giving someone broker?
I was selling my own bike. No, at that point at least nilikuwa na few followers so nikipost at least itaonekana so funny enough hata ilienda to a buddy of mine so I had met him like 2 years before alikuwa ameanza kuride alikuwa na small cc so by then alikuwa ataka upgrade time ya corona watu wa IT sijui wanatoa pesa wapi
kwanza time ya covid wako na pesa mimi hata
walikuwa na pesa bomb so I was even shocked the bike went that fast because I told the guy don't sell the R6 hata usiweke kwa soko me give me a month niuze bike yangu
utainunua.
I was even short of telling the guy who bought my bike hata usitume kwa account yangu tuma kwa hii account transaction so same day nilipwa hivi hata bank iliona $2 kaimeenda sniff went to the other R6 and then kaipick
why did you want the R6 kwani
for me R6 was always my dream bike unajua sasa kuna the dream bikes me it was always R6 I don't know if it's cause when I was now watching my content akina chase on 2 wheels akina this American motovloggers they all had R6s so I think that's what was in my brain ili register indo bike poa so I always liked it nikamwambia horsepower even the looks the sharp edges inakapoa
nice
so that's the only bike I always wanted
na from ilikuwa coincidence ulipata ya blue
blue. In fact I always wanted a black but with the gold rims always wanted the gold rims I wanted all black na gold rims after ni ride Jigsaw kwa time nilipaint Jigsaw ndo nilifanya kila even fairings I kept painting nilikuwa experiment so the time I was with it had black and silver no nikarealize by the visibility is a thing also on bikes so the darker you go the less visible you are unajua watu wajes wanakanga matao na just they matter if their bike is black or whatever
ndio onekane
sport bike then nimevaa black gear nimevaa that's
looking
why
gangster
that overcompensate na hii helmet yangu ya Rossi that is very bright
lakini sasa umevalisha kuku
that nimevalisha
kuku ya brown and now this is a factory paint
this factory nothing has changed
anything
OEM fairings hata niko maswali that's why everyone is like hata msangu wa garage sema hii bike usiuze na ukiuza wait for me to get money
utapigwa wewe
napigwa because everything OEM
sasa hiyo ni minus content imeenda
na wasio napenda in fact everyone says naweza pata random DM nimekuwa nikipita Thika Road busy ya kutoka home I saw a blue bike unajua the fact that it's a blue bike just like hiyo ni Kimeu so if I change colors also about disassociate guys from so unajua ukiona Kimeu ni blue bike
una interfere na identity
exactly
na watu washakuzoea na wamekulike hivyo
bas so hii bike also one day ndaipeleka Conco probably 10 years 15 years down the line I'll just make sure nikae nayo that's my goal nibaki nayo naweza ongea hivi alafu nipe offer sasa nikitoka hapa mseme Kimeu ulisema utaiuza sasa nimetoa 2M na nikaa nimeacha hapa
nakwambia nitakimbia niunde special edition ambaye by the way Kimeu has sold his bike kabla useme
special episode breaking news
have you guys been seeing Kimeu lately posting no. Why he sold his bike deal with him now
broke Kimeu is gone broke unajua vile wasa hizo headlines famous biker gone broke.
You won't believe who. There are 5 bikers who are broke now. Number 6 will shock you.
Number 6 your cover image.
But that is interesting. Yeah, so kumbe huko anza ku ride bike juzi.
No, me I've been riding for a very long time, but also I keep telling people, I've been riding for a while, but it's not skills that people have now. Unajua wase wameenda kwa mseka Malibu, this inked. Mnafanya road drills, mnafanya drills nini. Mimi nilienda Ikra. Tuko na instructor wangu alikuwa anakaa nyuma, mimi nambeba tuenda base ya food tunakula ugali.
That's how you are learning.
There was no learning, I learned.
Ilikuwa ni maraundi tu.
I learned to move the bike, and then because I had my bike earlier before I turned 18, I already knew how to move a bike. So mzee alikuwa anakimbia amekama asema tuende tu tukalale. Like there's nothing I can teach him. Sasa inaona watu wanapewa macones, sijui wanafanya badili. So me I think there are people who started riding like 3 months ago. They probably can do those drills better than me. Now me yangu ni experience. What I've learned is from the road.
Yeah. But is this something like you'd want to
in future? Yes. Now because now I think I've acquired all the skills I need for commuting. But when I want to do off-road, that's another thing I realized. Off-road, you need to learn off-road skills.
Unajua kuna hii watu wanasema sijui you need to use the bike to its limit. Like for instance, cause your sport bike pia unafaa kujua like ni kuchapa malines na mavitu kama hizo kwenda kwa track. You've been at the track?
No? I've been to what's it called, Whistling. Yeah, I've been there. Ile time kulikuwa they're called doctored track days. Doctored on Sundays. Before this Sunday thing, before all this drama, those 2 guys who were fighting about whistling. Drama, yeah.
Really happened. When was it? 2021?
Blade Dog used to have a school for riding, so I did that course.
Oh, you did that course?
I did the course, Blade Dog.
Oh, yeah. That
the riding course.
I think that was before COVID or during around that time.
It was just after, because I got the bike. I went to the R6. So it was after, during COVID. Yeah, 2022, 2021 there.
Because COVID ilisha tuseme to 2021 towards the end.
Yeah.
Nice. Kumbe ulifanya training.
Nilifanya training. And then just to add on that, vile umesema wasema use it to the max. The same I keep telling, this is what I tell people. Si uko na TV, you listen to it at maximum volume.
Do you watch all the channels?
Do you watch all the channels?
You watch every news.
Just because you have it, doesn't mean you have to abuse it. It's a tool. So use it it's here to help you, not for you to use it to its max. At a hammer, when you have a small, it's not the same force utaweka ukigonga nini kubwa. Like it's not the same force when you're hitting a big nail that you'll hit the small nail with. Just use what is necessary.
I know a specific biker mwenye hii tamdunga vibaya.
Me, I'm not here to again, this is personal experience and opinions.
Yeah, this opinion is no longer personal. It's very public, and right now, as from the look of things, umwambia ukweli. Wewe ukikuja kuniambia hapa siku nyingine ati exhaust your bike, nitakuuliza nionyeshe channel zote umewatch za hiyo TV yenu yenye uko nayo. But anyway, I hope it doesn't get to that. Yeah. If it gets to that, I'm ready anyway. Really banter.
I keep telling people there's no such thing as bad ninis. In fact, because now I realize most of my videos, that when you do something wrong, that's when people want to correct you. And I'm like, me, as long as man party views, you're all welcome to criticize me. You're welcome to criticize me.
Ulisema hakuna shida.
Hakuna shida. Because there's a video I posted recently, nilipitwa na Nissan Note.
Ulipitwa na Nissan Note?
Nismo. So nika-accelerate kidogo, nikaenda nikasimama mbele, wasa wakanipita. Wasa wakasema, Kimeu hata bike haujui kufinya. So the controversy is what is making the video. Kama ningefinya bike niende, no one would have cared about the video. It would have just been another video of a bike speeding.
I don't know if something happens while you're speeding, the same person will come and be like, let
me tell you, I learned. Okay, I've not learned, but I hear from other people's experience, the people for online community, the same guys who are telling you to do something are the first people to ruka you, na waseme the opposite. Nilimwambia say speed. And that's the same guy in the comments akasema hii bike yake haisongagi mbio finya.
Uko na bike ya kufinya na ufinyi. Yeah, me pia nimeface hiyo kitu sana, especially in my YouTube channel. At the point I called myself, you know what? I belong to the Slow People Association.
Accept. But they I keep telling people accept.
I don't want to impress you.
I feel nothing. Mtu akama niambie, bike yako au utilizing it. What was the first word in that sentence? Bike yako.
Where's yours?
When you get yours, we finya as much as you want.
And na hiyo speed unataka.
Exactly. It's a free country.
Because nilikuja kurealize hii thrill sometimes una feel like unajua as a biker kuna unakuanga na hiyo time yenye you feel like today I want to thrash the bike.
That those days, yeah.
That should come from you.
Exactly.
It should come not from kuchochwa.
Si kuchochwa. When you
because I do that once in a while and it's because I feel like I want to do it today. but ile ya kufanya ati ndio ni prove point.
That's the worst thing you can do on a bike. To go on the bike so that you can prove a point. That's when most accidents happen.
That's how
you're outside your limits.
And in your head you're not enjoying.
Yeah, because you're riding with someone else's limits. Because you ride to their limits. them they know how to do this twisties OG, but you're trying to keep up.
Enda na pace yako. I've even gone to the twisties with some guys who are very much experienced. You know, kina bike siege and stuff like that. Those guys.
Do I know?
Bike siege ukienda na yeye
inakanga video game.
You've seen?
I have seen.
Bike siege atakuacha, but he'll tell you, you know what? I've been here for like 3 years.
He knows the road.
I know this road.
There are people who know such roads. That's Thika road is speeding because they don't know it as much.
Because, you know, he told me, like, the first time I went to Nyoka with him, and he was like, so, it's like he had already seen, chances are very high I'm going to leave you behind. So he was telling me, now, all corners are left. Remember, any corner you see, left. And I'm like, why are you telling me this? Kumbe, this guy had planned. And then he was like, a corner that will be left and right, or maybe a right one that's not left, I'll wait for you there. So that you don't get lost.
Don't go on in there. That's a good teacher, man. Those are good people to ride with now. Because they remove the pressure from trying to prove yourself.
Yes. No stress, no nothing. Yeah. So at this point, you realize when you're riding umuoni, lakini you keep in mind that you enjoy yourself. He told you when you see a left is when you nini. Alafu zile kona zingine zenye hata kama ni left na amekawia bila kuona, he'll be like, he knows what he's doing, you know. And it's really amazing. So you don't really have to prove a point to anyone.
You don't.
It's very unnecessary, especially unaona saka bike njani yako umeanza na. What is the name of that bike?
Senke. It'll be thrown up on the screen. I'll send him the photos.
Senke ukakuja kwa Jigsaw,
Yamaha, then
KTM, sorry. And now
we don't know yet. Surprise. Stay subscribed. H2 maybe. Ducati. It's called Superleggera, the most expensive one.
The red one.
You never know. Ile bike ya red. Mko bike ya red.
Yeah, but nimesikia hizo bike watu wanasema maintenance, like when it comes here getting the parts with the Ducati, you know, Italian machines.
I feel Italian, it's more of the softwares and the older Ducatis are easier to own in Kenya. But these new ones where everything is diagnostics, you know, those things that we don't have the network for. So it becomes harder to own. Like this is V4.
At a service.
Because service you have to plug in to a service light. You can't just Ducatis are become an iPhone. Yeah, they have to get money back to them. So they say, in fact, I hear the newest bikes. There are certain lights that can only be removed at a dealer.
Only.
No third parties. No third parties. So you see when you start now messing with my ECUs, you lose now then it is.
But you know,
tutafika.
But on that note, I realized most people, like say, who are making content, and even the ones I know, very few are doing Ducatis, you know. Ducatis iko kwa track mostly MotoGP, you see. Yeah. But you don't see people riding it sana kwa street and all that. I think that could be why.
It's a Ducati is ni kama Lamborghini. It's not an everyday bike.
Siya kila mtu.
Yeah, siya kila mtu. The price point siya kila mtu. And I also, na nimeambiwa from my pal who has one, your 1199R, inachemsha. your manhood or your womanhood for the female audience. Wherever you sit, it gets hot. It gets really hot.
Kushinda hizi
you know it has the undertail exhaust. It wraps under the chair. The exhaust comes from the engine and wraps under, then it comes from under.
Directly?
And you sit on the exhaust cartan. So that part is where all the heat now. And then, you know, a bend in the hot air just wants to go.
Inaua mayai.
Inaua. So in fact, one of the highest mods at Ducati inakwanga kuweka heat shield chini ya kiti.
And it still does not do
100. It's hot. And then now in traffic, on the highway, of course, it's cool. But you can get traffic, that's when now it's not an everyday bike.
Iko recommended Kenya kweli, because Kenya is
kama wewe ni mtu wa kustand, kama wewe ni mtu wa kupiga luku, it's a bike for you.
You have to pay a price.
You
pay
the price.
The price.
Yeah, make sure you have your your children, then you have your generation.
Ushamaliza, yeah. Otherwise unaweza jipata. But most guys who ride bikes, unaona hiyo ikwangi kwa hesabu.
True.
Ukisha bike becomes your baby.
It's the girl, baby girl.
Becomes your baby girl. What's your baby girl called, by the way?
This is Ariel. I call her Ariel. Actually, all my bikes have had a name, so I stuck with it. Senke ilikuwa Anna, because what was we watching? There was a show, Taska Project Fame or something. It's one of those singing shows. Kulikuwa dem hot, yellow. She was called Anna. Can't name my bike same thing.
Ukaangalia Senke ukasema Senke is boring.
At that time not many people were riding. So hata kama ilikuwa boda Senke hakukuwa maboda. Like there were no borders at that time.
Ama ni Senke ilikuwa ina sound Kiluya.
Senke ni ina sound weird. It didn't roll off the tongue.
Ina sound kama Senge.
Sawa.
Ukaita Ana.
Hiyo mwingine nikamwita Ariel. No, huyo alikuwa Arya. The Jigsaw was Arya kama Game of Thrones too. Huyo bebo was a badass. So I named her Arya. Then this one Ariel. Because of her blue, Ariel is that guy. What's her name? Little Mermaid. So like the ocean, there's nothing made. I don't think that much about it.
You have a bonus for A's name.
Yeah, so I was like, now from by the time I did Anna and then Arya, I was like, that's my daughter is A. So that's why I did Ariel. Now I looked for an A name. Then I told you Ariel. No, the first one was Amara. Sorry, not Anna. The KTM is Anna.
So Amara is still
Amara was the first one. Yeah, that was the babe for TPF. She was called Amara. Google it. I don't know if it was TPF or Idols. Idols akushinda. But alifika final. Alikuwa top 5, I think. Yeah.
So let's say you have apart from these 2 bikes, you have 3 more bikes. What other names would you give them? What A's?
So now, kama Anna, the KTM.
Basically, I'm just trying to make you run out of A's.
Tutaanza kuingia X territory. Kuna madem sasa wanajita watasema Kimeu. Yeah, so kama I don't overthink. Kama KTM ni bike ya Netherlands, nika Google most common name in Netherlands, Anna. Female name started with A. Kakuja Anna. So you know vile nika name.
Annette.
In Netherlands. Manufacturer of KTM si yuko nini? Annette ni ya huku local. Ni hapa.
Unajua?
No, ni probably
Annabelle.
Unajua these Scandinavian European countries are wananga easy. They're not English. So your Anna ni almost German.
It means something else.
So kuna Anna, do Anaka, like your variations of that name.
They play around with it twist kidogo.
Kila mtu anajua kufitini. Watu wako na A names, weka A names kwa comments.
Put the A names in the comment and then Kimeu might decide which one to go with.
Right name, and shout out.
It better be catchy because
it has to be catchy. Usite Atieno ama you never know. No offense to I actually know quite a few Atienos.
Kimeu amekataa Senge. Amekataa Atieno sahi. Amedenounce hizo majina zote. And that's why
I'm open to any name. You just have to convince me.
I want to give you a challenge.
Yeah.
Your next bike. Let's go with a Koth.
Okay.
It's local. Okay, so you're promoting nini? It's a local thing and then mafans wako wengi wako wapi?
Western. Nadhani niko na helmet ya nini tafuta ya fish. Tafuta ya fish.
Imagine a Koth na umevaa kuku. That blends in so well. Like, and then you know how these people do TikTok these days. Wanafanya inaitwa like comment. They talk. They're like, "Hi guys, welcome with me today as I take a Koth out."
Nianza kusema hivyo. Me and my girlfriend a Koth are going out spa day.
That would be a vibe, by the way, if you come to think about it. You know, it's not English.
Personality. Acha tungoje because also bikes have personality. I know you've had you said you had the 750 and you've had the R6. They're different personalities. By personality I mean they ride different.
You know, by the way, 750 linitoka before hata nianze kuwa attached. I think
and that's how I feel about the KTM. You know the bikes that you just don't click with. They feel your KTM.
Yeah, because R6 ndio naanza kukacha.
R6 is a very good bike.
There's a connection and everything, and then it's black and yellow.
Your color scheme iko Bumblebee. Bambi. Is it Bumblebee?
Bumblebee, yeah.
It was too obvious. Too on the nose.
Sikatu vile umekata nini?
Akot.
Senge. It's too common iko Western and all that.
Okay.
Anyway, so you're parting short, eh? So, like from your experience as a biker to now a content creation, I wanted to ask you something about content now as a bike. Does it really pay?
Don't get into content looking for money.
Okay.
Itakupata. Like how long? Like you had my first GoPro Kimeu.
By the way, you
2015.
Tell me about the GoPro. Eh? Which GoPro is this? 6 someone is of
Session. That ilikuwa GoPro ya 15K. It was the cheapest. I don't know if you even know. It was like a small box one.
Ile battery si interchangeable.
Exactly that one. That was its downfall.
Ilikuwa moto.
It got get hot. Yeah. After now, I used to ride now nime plug kwa bike, so it got even hotter. Unapata content kufika home kumbe ili overheat ikazima. And then you can't tell because it's small. So yeah. So
that's crazy, man.
Don't get into content for money, but itakupata. Now I'm getting a few deals here and there. Shout out to watu wangu wa Yamaha, my good people at Yamaha.
Meziba logo.
Oh, sorry. See Monster. But Monster, if you're watching, sing a mind.
Do your thing.
Yeah. So they are the ones there.
So you used to make content even with the Senke?
No, back then now, story GoPro. So, yo high side yangu ya vlolisikia, I don't know kama watu wangu wa insurance watawachi. What say the limitations is how long?
5 years.
Anyway, when we were doing the quote and kuna pesa kadogo kalibaki, let me say that. And I was able to get a GoPro from that money for compensation, accident. So that's when I said now uploaded. And the guy who I used to ride with actually had a GoPro. That's why like he was filming me. Nilikuwa mbele yake nikicrash. So the video is on my page and I think also on his page. So nikasema, by the way, and then I realized there's a lot of things you experience as a biker watu hawataamini. Like kama Wajakoya, if I told someone that story, who would have believed me?
It's biting me until now.
Exactly. So there are things that people need to see, and I was just like, if I'm not the one showing them, who will? At that time there was no one doing it. All the content was mostly Maju, but when I got into biking, there was no people want to see how Nikenda Thika Road, what road do bikers, how do bikers ride on Thika? What's the experience? Now you're spoiled for choice. Me nikianza, it was me to go and find out the routes to go
discover them.
Because no one was actually posting the day-to-day, the normal stuff. Unajua hiyo time ilikuwa kina styles wanaenda wanafinya bikes 299 kph somewhere on the road that you don't know. Yeah.
Tukanana.
Because my beef hapo.
My beef.
But those are the things. Now that's the content I used to watch local. But I was like, that's not riding. Riding is not, and that's why people mistake riding for always being on full. You need to show people this other side of riding.
Bike.
Exactly. Sport bikes can move. So a range ama sasi range. So easy ma Subaru don't always. During the week wamekwama kwa jam. ni weekend tu ndo wanafinyanga.
And open roads.
Exactly. So it's not always you're on the max. So I wanted to show them this other side of mtu wa kawaida. Just riding a bike.
And commuting and stuff.
And people say sport bikes are not good for commuting. I like sport bikes how they look. So I was just like, who said they're not good for commuting?
Because
you learn. Your bike, mgongo inazoea. If you know your commute, utazoea.
That is. No, Samanga pia you need to hit the gym.
Yeah, definitely. I don't hit the gym, but
no,
but it helps. Right, being in the gym helps. Because there's even on my what's it called page YouTube on the jigs I had a couple of photos that I uploaded, and you know what the first thing I always used to say, nisaidieni kuinua bike. So someone was like, that should be your tagline. So because I can't lift it on my own.
So in case it goes down.
Yeah. Just be strong. Even when you're stronger, you don't get tired more. Because you know when you're lean, even the twist is that's muscle. You're pushing your muscles.
Trust me, by the time you're done, that's enough workout. It's like
exactly.
cardio. Now
in fact, that's a gym I take people. I have may ride my bike. You're the gym yangu.
Inasaidia
sana.
Hey, that is interesting.
Yeah.
What do I want to ask you? There's something I wanted to ask you about the
brand.
No,
the bike.
No, not branding. It's about the biking and the way you're saying about commuting and on a sports bike, fuel-wise. You know, because I'm sure you get into traffic a lot.
A lot of people ask me that question, by the way. And you know, it's one of those questions I can't give you an answer. Me, my commute and your commute are different. Sisi kwambia the R6 works for commuting. Now when him so a Jogo Road. Like, you know, like where cars you can't even pass through. So it depends. Like, it actually depends. I keep telling people, it may sound expensive, but after when you get your bike, just land. Like, Mimi, the first sport bike I rode was the one I bought. At this point, there's so many now that unaweza pata msee amekupatia ujaribu. Me, the first, and I only got it hata test ride sikufanya. I trusted the guy who did the test ride. Nikalipia tu hiyo jigs, kambia, because no one wants to give you an expensive thing. Uride afu uende uangushe na hata si yako.
Takes a lot.
Exactly. That's me, my bike I rarely give people to ride. Actually, I don't think I give people to ride the R6. But to a garage. Kusongesha unaweza songesha. Ukiangusha hiyo ni fairings, nakupatia bill OEM. OEM
Kwanza penye una.
And I tell people, me, my bike, whatever you do ni OEM. Because it's OEM. So kama ni fairings at when the naitwanga Monster ama eBay, hizi za Alibaba. We're not getting those ones. Patzilla is actually good. Wako na OEM. I've gotten a few parts from Patzilla, za KTM.
And it works well for you.
It works. Because, you know, the original parts last longer. Nope, they may be slightly expensive. Well, but most of the time they're not even that more expensive. Of course, there are parts that are more expensive, but
the difference. So if you try to compare,
kuna time Jigsaw. After your accident, nearly by side mirrors. And then Jigsaw, they have the integrated side mirrors, indicators kwa side mirrors. Nika buy Chinese. I think the deal was like 2K for 2. For the sets, 2K. Yeah, 2K for 2 side mirrors. I bought like 3 pairs. Because they all vibrate. They all vibrate. Like when you're riding a mini commuter, I need my mirrors. At okay, at 20, 30 kph, they start shaking and you can't see anything out of the side mirror. They're too flimsy. Nika buy, I don't know what were they. I think it was $90 one. Like so, it'll come almost $180 for the set. Original OEMs, Jigsaw. They never shook again. Like Yoshida ilienda.
So is it at this point that you realize, okay, sometimes having legit things is...
You can pick the ones you can do. They know that things that you can do. Is it my guard? This is any chuma radiator guard, levers. Those ones you can do. I wouldn't say, even Chinese, I don't say Chinese. You can pick the quality you want because there are cheaper ones that are still good quality, but don't go for the cheapest. Look at reviews.
They're cheaper ones, but don't go for the cheapest.
Don't never go for the cheapest. More often than not, is even the materials they've compromised on something.
Quality, definitely.
Quality, yeah.
So kuna ya 2K
kuna kuna watu wanashikanga break hivi unaona imevunjika imesnap during you watch these clips online because of random parts. Yeah,
shida ni wamalizangi hizo
ama unaona foot peg imevunjika like the what are they called, the rear sets zimeanza kuhankos ulibai zile za Chinese imevunjika.
You always wish hizo clips ziishe waonyeshe mwisho, lakini sasa wanaipoza anaandika hapo damn ways to die.
You can't show accidents. Utaambiwa hapa ni go content. Utaka kupatiwa ma disclaimer warning.
Wacha ufala wewe mtiaji. So last question by the way, so you don't post on YouTube more often these days?
Yes.
So why do you choose that over others? You choose other social media?
Like I said, it's more of it was an evolution because nilianza YouTube by the way. But I realized for my content the way it's short clips. And I don't have time. Unajua nyinyi mko na time ya kuedit. Me, I was learning softwares. No, I was learning this software. It's nothing in my career. It was something new for me. And at that time there was no one. Not just say unaweza pata watu unawatumia content wana kueditia. Yeah. So now I realized because the phone one, Insta360 is a good brand. Una edit tu kwa simu kila kitu una upload. And it's easy. The app is it's so easy to use. So una cut, you can do your jump cuts. And then the good thing with my clips is I don't even need to cut because it's an interaction. So I just cut. I choose where to start it, where to end it, upload.
No color grading, no nothing.
And nikianza hivi watu watakusema you're trying to be cut, you're trying to copy you're trying to have his content.
Amekufunza ulienda podcast yake.
But now I've learned now that I'm doing collaborations with other brands, so they have their standards. They want their content to be, so I have to learn.
Would you say that's a challenge when it comes to content? Like now you have to up your game.
It is, because now with content, you see me when my content is mine. Niki-upload, nikipata 50 views, nipate 30,000, 100k views, doesn't matter. With a brand, they don't want you to get 50 views. They want exactly. And I keep telling them, me, I don't plan. Like I don't know which video will go viral. In fact, the video you think will have the most views, ndo ipatangi views. It's nothing. Kama there's this video on TikTok of kids revving my bike. Yeah. 42 million. It's my highest viewed video. 42 million views. Yeah. I was like, even me, I didn't believe. I was like, why? And it's nothing. And then, in fact, the clip, I'm not even the one there's someone who I sent it to, the person I was going to see. Then they uploaded. They're like, hey, people are really watching it.
They uploaded where?
On their stories. Then they're like, hey, people are watching, you should upload on your page. So it was not even me who planned to upload it.
And then you uploaded and that's it.
Hey, it blew up. You know, in Patiata now mostly international followers.
And the motivation to continue.
Exactly.
So you'd say it's by chance or sometimes maybe?
I'd say it's chance, but chance comes to those who are prepared or those guys who are just, like, I've been doing content. It came and found me ready.
Okay.
So it was not at my first video, and then now I don't know what to do after it.
So the consistency.
It's consistency. Actually, that's the word, consistency. And that's what I was saying. When you're saying someone who's starting off with content, don't expect views. You perfect your craft, perfect your content first. Know what you want to give the audience. Otherwise, people can tell when you have confused content.
Like you don't know what you're doing.
You don't know what you want, and even then they're like, so why am I on this? They'll be one day they love your video, then the next day they're like, who followed this page? Oh, Cartoon Street Two Wheels podcast. I didn't even know he talks about cars. Like maybe you brought a driver.
Because I'm planning to bring rally drivers now.
Exactly. Now you see, you might be someone. You might lose guys who are bikers. Because people always have opinions. That's the one thing with the internet. Everyone has an opinion, and on the internet, once you upload something, you've given them the chance to share their opinion with you.
Yeah, it's public.
It's
so
public.
They have every right by the way.
But then I don't. I'm like, hey, it's public. Me, Cheers. I don't feel bad. Your opinion, I don't have to reply.
No, but thanks.
Thanks.
Watch out to subscribe and watch out for my next
Exactly.
videos.
In fact, that's what I learned. Trolls. When your show doesn't affect you, they really don't know how to react.
When you show them,
they want friction. They want you to be like, you bike yako isongangi. I'm like,
social media bullies.
Yeah, bullies. I'm like, hey, by the way, isongangi, I need a new bike. Then how will they reply to that?
Hey,
you just shut it down immediately. They don't
which
know
one do you recommend?
Which one do you ride? I can try yours.
Ukona H2?
Yeah, ukona H2. Maybe I'll try that one.
Patane wapi by the way to switch where uvute
mimi. I follow you. I try and keep up.
That's a very good attitude.
Yeah.
You know, some people take it to heart.
And that's another thing. Social media, if you take things to heart, it's not for you. No, man, unasikianga oh madam, oh I'm on a social media break. Those people are always on a break. It's because the comments are not nice. There may be nice comments, but let's say you did a video, you got 100 comments, then you got 99 good but one bad. That one bad is one that you'll remember. It changes everything.
But it goes to the way you've just said. Imagine you post. The moment you're posting it on social media, you're making it public. So it means the public will see. And they will share. They will post.
And there are people who only have negative opinions. Like that's what they're there. Exactly.
Whether it's what, they will just have to share what they think.
And you choose how to take it.
Yeah. Because in the first place, they didn't ask you.
Exactly. Even me, no one has asked me to upload.
Yeah,
by
the way, it reminds me of, there's someone who posted something. You know, like these guys on social media who come and be like, ask me any question. And then, hizo questions zinakuwa personal. Unakasirika. And now you told them to ask you any question.
Yeah, you didn't say, don't ask me this.
You said, ask away.
And then at that point, Labda, you've broken up with a girlfriend or something. And that's what everyone wants to know. So, of course, they'll ask you that.
No, maybe it's the girlfriend now.
Who's asking
coming as a pseudo
account.
No. Why did you do this to...
Why were you cheating with Nani? Personal things.
Now you have to answer that question. And it becomes a problem. So, I think social media is public. And once you decide to anika yourself there, you just be ready for anything that comes up.
Be ready for it. Me, in fact... I keep saying when I post my videos and people have criticism, I take them as lessons to learn. If someone tells me you shouldn't have been riding, like I'm like, thanks, by the way. I won't be like, oh, where una riding? Like, you know that people who are like, they're always confrontational. They come and say, oh, ulipigia driver honi na wende ulikomeka mbio. I'm like, oh, sawa, noted. But the other people like, hey, even him, he should have seen me. Don't engage people at that level. Because that's how you argue na nani. That's the number one thing you don't know. It might be a MotoGP racer. It might be a guy who's never sat on a bike. So you see, you can't gauge just from social media.
And also to avoid embarrassment.
Exactly.
And stuff like that.
It's not worth it.
That is really nice, by the way. It's so nice to have you here, man.
Asante sana.
Story mingi sana. Do you have any parting shots to... I always ask bikers with experience. I didn't know you have that much experience.
Many people tell people how long I've been riding, they don't know. I think it's almost 14 years now. I'm
14 years,
14, 15 years.
Na
me, I'm only 21. with those many years
21. Experience. Jamaa alianza akiwa na diapers.
Nilikama wakina Shivama to a dirt bike. Maybe. Actually, that's one of the things I wish I did when I was young.
You said you wanted a dirt bike.
Yeah, no, I wish I was just... Because I always... economy inakuwa mbaya for everyone. So I wish my folks could have been able to kunipeleka hizo that bike. Because those are things that are inborn. Like, not inborn, but when you start at a young age, when you breed a child, when you raise a child, this is maumbwa, so yeah, no, fine, you get breed.
Na ile kuku.
So when you raise a child in that sport, even by the time they are 18, they have so much knowledge as opposed to someone who went to driving school. I'm easy my training.
Because ameshinda na hiyo.
That's why you pata. In fact, I was speaking to some rally drivers the other day. 2 teams, 4 of them. 3 out of the 4 were bikers. So it's just a graduation. Like they were all that bike guys, and the adrenaline is just.
Run was a bike.
Yeah, so it's the sport. The the discipline is inbuilt in them, so they
And
don't.
it
Applies to everything.
By the way, it makes sense.
So wapatata wakiona kwa barabara, in fact they don't want to go on the road with their bikes now. Then they want to go bushes, they want to go all these things because they know on the road they won't have as much fun as they do off.
But but now with that, you see, maybe your parents didn't know better.
Not even didn't know. I don't blame them. Like, the one thing I don't say, me, while in Patia, what's it called? My mom got me my first bike. Not many moms have done that.
Hey.
So I'm already, pia mimi niko na point of privilege. When mtu ananiangalia hapo anasema huyu mzee anaongea hivyo na yali buy your bike nini yeah. So it depends. Like, and I also say in this journey, don't compare yourself with anyone.
You just be you.
Kuna mtu ata get license labda next month na endo atabuy hiyo H2 ya slick. Like, you never know.
Kama ichangamkia.
He'll be afford it. Yeah. You never know. Everyone's journey is different.
By the way, that is so true.
Yeah, so stick to your journey where, as long as, I keep saying, bikes are there to make you have fun. Like, they're there to give you joy. The moment you start trying to compare your joy with someone else's joy, don't lose the plot.
Just stay focused.
Stay focused on your own journey.
But it's very important to stay focused, by the way. Don't lose the grip while you're at it. Yeah, so that's the parting shot. Or you have something you want to tell the newbies out there? You know, the guys who are starting and also the guys who are in the biking.
Let me talk to the people who more in my field, the people who are starting content. If you want to do content,
by the way,
it's not easy. Like I was saying, you just need to be consistent at what you do. Learn how to perfect your craft. Learn how to do what you do well, and all these other things now will come after. Like, the way you guys are like, oh, I started posting content. That people who have approached me like, I shoot videos. Can you hook me up with the person who hooked you up with your deals for certain collaborations? And I'm like, in fact, no one has hooked me up. People have seen my things. So by the time you keep pushing your stuff, people will see. If your videos are good, people will see them. People will share them. That's why I find it very awkward for me to go. I upload something and I'm like, guys, please share. Please, like, on Instagram when you say, please share this video to get. I'm just like, the videos that trend, I've not even asked anyone to share. If it's funny, they share. Yeah.
Kizuri chati.
Kizuri kibaya kachitembeza, that one.
That thingy.
Mi nilipass Kiswahili, niko hapa.
I don't care. Mimi hata
and I left it there. Nilichoma vitabu na niliacha Kiswahili yangu hapo. Pass.
That makes a lot of sense, by the way. So content, no need to rush.
And also, you don't need the most expensive equipment to start. As long as you can record, just record. Even guys with, you can do content for bikes with a phone. You can just off the bike. You don't have to be on the bike. I'm not encouraging you to go riding and then you're riding EV selfie. No. But they put you can do off. You can do off the bike content. Those are the funny ones. Zile unaonanga watu they're just doing memes on the bike. They're just situations. How a Yamaha rider gets ready. You've seen those funny memes. Yeah. So you don't have to be pushing 300 kilometers per hour to get views. You can. That's a good way to get views. That's a very easy way to get views by the it's a thrill.
And
something people don't see often. But the secret is giving them something unique to yourself.
Something that's different.
You send that in the time I go sit down, I'm like, hey, but the podcast even I want to do one.
I want to start a podcast.
Exactly. Just because you've seen. If you're starting a podcast, do it because it's something that you're actually passionate about. And look for your own perspective on things. Because people don't subscribe to the challenge, they subscribe to the person. The personality. Ingekuwa mtu mwingine an interview, it would have not been the same. It will maybe riff off. Exactly. Yeah. Labda umezapa mtu robot. The one who they know. Or you go get a presenter, news anchor, come and participate interview. It would have been more professional, but they don't know the
dynamics, the bike, must be the bike, hawajui vile kunaendanga.
Yeah, so don't rush it, be patient. Content, because I keep saying, I know I've been saying that a lot, but
just keep saying it. You didn't say it here.
No, the more people have content, even me, I'm happy. People are like, hey, this quiz, everyone is recording. I'm like, yes, everyone record. The more we are, the more content is out there, the more awareness for bikes is there. Like, see me peke yangu. Unajua, kama ni mi peke yangu, it's very limited. Now, there's so many people uploading, there's so many people who know they're bikers on the road, just from content.
But do you think biking content is limited? Like, because you realize most bikers are pushing for the same style, apart from yours, which is you said it's engaging. And that's
like I said, it's limited to, obviously, because if you have a guy with a Toyota making content and a guy with a Lamborghini, the Lamborghini guy will attract more people.
Definitely,
but I also realized there's a guy. What was his name? Rico
local here.
Rico Gearhead or something. He used to do fast rides on beginner bikes. Have you seen how many views those videos have? Because no one else is shooting that content.
Rico Gearhead.
Yeah, he goes Dayun, he goes those brands that me I've never sat on. Then people will ask me, which bike should I start with? I'm like, hey, what's it?
He's not local, is he?
He's local. He's a local guy.
Ah.
Yeah. So
it's a unique one, that one.
It's very unique. So he's tried them. So find your niche. That's his niche. Beginner, he knows that market well. Me, people ask me, which bike should I start with? I'm like, I don't even know what bikes are selling now. Like, my mind is looking na Google Ducati every weekend. And my M1000. Yeah. And my starting bike, almost 15 years ago when I started. So it's not the same. At that time, we used to angalia Apache to go, wait, we can't even touch up. Apache was like having a sport bike. Now it's a nothing. It's any boda kila mahali. But no, it's a good bike. I've done someone, I think the Apache is on 200 and something thousand kilometers from new. Amekonayo from new. 200,000.
Here?
Yeah, in Kenya.
And it's still pushing?
It's pushing.
But I heard these mas 6 number nizi na kwa na limits. Ikifika 100 inaanza kuona mashida.
All vehicles, all engines have limits only depending on how you maintain them.
Like changing oil.
Yeah, changing oil. So it comes down to you as a user.
That makes sense.
Kuna labda imekufa na 8,000 kms juu.
Ilikuja na hiyo service na kaachana nayo na ikaendelea.
So it depends on how you take care of your bike and how you use it.
That's nice. So thank you so much for coming, man.
Thanks for having me.
It's been nice having you.
And you're doing great things. That's nikupatia your flowers.
Thank you so
you're doing
much,
great
Kimeu.
things. Yeah.
I really love it.
And subscribe to his content.
Yeah, subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
More guys will be coming and they'll be telling us stories of their biking journey and everything. You've heard it from Kimeu. This guy has been riding from 2008. Me, I'm really surprised.
But I'm 21.
Yeah, from 2008 and he's 21. Inaitwanga aging like fine wine.
Exactly.
Yeah, but asante sana, man.
Thanks for having me. I've enjoyed it as well. I've really enjoyed it.
So we're looking forward to more content.
Yes.
That's a promise to my fans, eh?
Yeah, hiyo kawaida. Me, like my content is my day to day.
Hata sasa ukienda home kuna
hata sasa lakini ya giza. I don't get ukipata helmet iko na tint, you'll suffer. Just get one with two visors. They have the tinted. Unajua kukaa cool lazima ufiche macho. It's swag.
Now what are you planning to do? I'll
just go with the visor after size on my insects sasa. Use na upepo.
Proteins.
Watu wanaanza kusema, why is he not speeding na koda sport? Kumbe unapigwa hapo tu na ma insects.
Kuku kwa bike.
Kuku kwa bike. Hata sasa I think naitoa. Ama hapana.
Usitoe roll nayo. Acha hizo bala. Sasa bana, asante sana.
Nimeshukuru sana. Keep up the good work.
Thank you so much.
Subscribe to my channels, my pages. Kama hujua subscribe, ama ni follow.
By the way, inaitwa aje?
Kimeu on TikTok and K1MEU on nini. By the way, K1MEU, it was never meant to be K1MEU, but
what happened by chance?
There's also another one of my viral videos. People know me as Kimeu, but it was a Boda guy. Where's you like K1MEU? So the one is meant to be I. But just because he read it as it's written, he was like, when K1MEU Instagram, like, yes. And from then on, everyone else has been K1MEU.
So, the devil mina jita cartoon wheels alafu
the wheels are threes. Be careful how you name yourself on social media.
Cartoon with thrills.
Yeah.
Asante sana.
Cheers.